right. McTominay, Sims, equaliser. Ellis Sims. Sims, he's right.
Oh no, that's unbelievable.
You better believe it. Coventry City are heading to Wembley.
Hello guys, welcome back to that Cov pod after Arsenal 3, Coventry City 0. We've got our intro and our intro music on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. So we're leveling things up because we were getting a lot of comments saying people miss the classic tune that is our intro music. And today we are going to talk about, obviously, the first Premier League game of the season. We're going to look ahead to Plymouth. We're going to answer your listener questions as well. But I'm afraid a very serious matter we need to discuss before the podcast gets underway. We have three people who I think on this podcast are serious, good-hearted football fans, loyal to their team. And I'm afraid there's been a big error from one of us that needs discussing. Reports are suggested, I have good intel from trusted sources, that Jig was seen at Arsenal in a half-and-half scarf. Is this true? Jig, would you like the opportunity to defend yourself? We'll let you discuss it, talk about it, guilty or not guilty. What do you want to say for yourself, mate?
I wasn't at Arsenal in the half-and-half scarf. I was, God. I was coming out of the ground after the game and I found a fiver on the floor. So I waved it in these guys' faces that were selling them. And they're all saying no. And then one bloke just went, yeah, go on then. Because he had that many left. He just said, yeah, I'll take a fiver. So I was like, oh, fine, I'll take it. And I was planning on giving it to Jamie Wells, Aaron Wells' lad, because he'd come with us and it's his first. Obviously, I think he's about, I'm not sure how old he is, I'm not going to guess, 7, 8, something like that. And yeah, the plan was to give it to him, but I thought I'll just put it in my pocket. But it's that big, you can't put it in your pocket. So I just had to put it round my neck. And for the few minutes I had it round my neck, I got collared by Lewis Jones, his dad. I can't remember his dad's name. And then a lad called Martin Jones, Rob Jones. And I was like, it's hard work keeping up with the Joneses. They're on it. Yeah. And I got clocked with one. It didn't make it home. I had it for about 10 minutes and it disappeared. So yeah, that's my half-and-half story. I won't do it again.
John, your thoughts?
I think it's disgraceful. It's a firm yellow card, mate. That's a very serious warning. Game one.
I don't know if after the game is maybe worse than before the game, given how the game went. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm one of them. I don't wear colours to the game. Proper old school. A half-and-half scarf. Hey, unless you're
it will not happen again.
Unless you're under 8, you know.
I think it was for someone that was under 8. That's the thing.
Still put it round your neck.
I couldn't put it in my pocket.
Old swan neck. Nice.
Oh, very good, very good. Well, our Premier League season kicked off on Friday night. Arsenal 3, Coventry 0. Listen, we knew the Premier League was going to be hard. We know they are one of the best teams in Europe. That first half really was a welcome to the Premier League. It felt like, John, in terms of the levels difference, we were so far beneath them, which, okay, maybe to be expected. But yeah, it was a bit of a reality check, wasn't it?
Big reality check for many, I think. Nothing surprised me with the game, sadly. The only thing is that we kept it. We talked about first 15 being crucial. They score on 14. I said on here we'd probably be 3 down half time, second half, put an half decent shift in, finish up 3-1. I think we were very, very lucky. I think we got away with one at 3-0, to be honest. I thought Arsenal had the cigars on from about 55 minutes. The game was done and they took their foot off the gas. If they'd have gone through the gears, mate, it could have been embarrassing. Some crazy stat. I think our first proper tackle was around the 65 to 70 minute mark. How's that possible in a game like that? 4 touches. That's not good enough. 4 touches in the box. I think tactically we got a few things wrong, and I think we learned some big lessons about if decision making and reacting to mistakes quickly. You don't have reaction time in this league. They are an elite level side, the second best side in Europe, absolutely no doubt about it. But let's be real, they were probably in second to third gear. And it's a big, big lesson. You've got your marker now. Not going to go too hard on them. You regroup now, but you know the levels. I think Frank tried something out in the middle of the park. Don't think it worked. And we'll get into the tactical side of it. But they are an elite level side. So we can't go too hard, but it is a big, steep and quick learning curve.
One of the best teams you've ever seen us play, Jig, from the away end?
Yeah, we couldn't get the ball in the first half. They were very good. I thought we started okay the first 10 minutes.
That corner got me very excited.
The corner
after 30
got me
seconds.
excited.
Oh,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, blimey, yeah, here we go. Yeah, but no, we couldn't get the ball. What was the stat? That we didn't make a tackle in the first half, and we didn't touch the ball in their box in the first half, and that's the first time since Opta started, since 2007 or something. It's not a great stat to have, but yeah, you can't afford to make any kind of mistake in this league. I don't really understand. I mean, we weren't pressing them, so they've played out the back for this first goal. They've just knocked it round, long ball over. MV's jumped to challenge. He's got the ball. You think now, just knock it out. You got your back. You turned away from going up the pitch. Don't try and turn into trouble. And what does he do? Turns into trouble. Knocks it off their
Bobby
player.
that was on as well, which was pointed out on Sky. He could have just knocked it back to Bobby and let him.
Yeah, I get it. I get that there's probably a lot of nerves going through the players as well. You're in a pressure cooker there. You've got the best team, like John said, joint best team in Europe at their place for the first game ever of your Premier League experience. And mistakes happen, but you can't afford to make mistakes against them teams because you get punished, and that's what happened. We got punished straight away. Lovely turn from Calafiori on the half turn, ball back to the edge of the box. Really good finish from Havertz, 1-0 down.
Great finish.
It's very, very tough. But I just sometimes think, and you know this at any level of football you're playing at, when you're playing a much better team, you know, and you think, no mistakes for the first 15, 20 minutes, just put it out. If you're under any pressure, put it out. I don't get why you try and turn back into play. But like John said, we can't jump on them after this game because that is the toughest game of the season out of the way.
I'm not bothered by the result. I don't think it's a bad result given we were 2-0 down after 20 minutes and it looked like they could have scored 6 or 7. I genuinely think 3-0, a lot of teams will lose 3-4. I think Leeds lost 4-0 last season there, stayed up. I think Leeds lost 3 and 4-0 to Arsenal last season and stayed up. I think the issue is, John, it was, and maybe this is a good thing, it seemed like individual errors for all the goals we conceded.
I think they are individual errors, but I think that's also naive. It's like, well, if we hadn't done this and we did do that and we did do that. So all of a sudden you're 2-0 down. Don't be fooled by Arsenal. I mean, I was sat in the Arsenal end and they'll be like, as soon as they went 2 and 3 up, they went,
with a half scarf on or?
No, half and half here, mate. No. And I think they didn't go through the gears at all. They could have absolutely slaughtered us, and I was quite pleased to come out of it 3-0. To be honest, very, very disappointing though. Not to really lay a glove on anybody. A half-hearted overhead kick that floated over the bar, and I think not deluded. I think it's the wrong word, but I think we're fooling ourselves if we feel that Arsenal couldn't have gone up another 2 levels. And that's the level for me. And I think that you're absolutely right, Jig. With Milan there, it's don't get me wrong, it's a great ball across the box. Could the centre half, the new lad, get out a bit quicker? Maybe. Great finish, 1-0. And then what you've got Milan there at fullback. What either lay it back to Bobby or go long or put it out. I don't understand the thought process there because we're playing it around at the back. But the problem is, unless you've got a link man in the 10 position, which we didn't have, or a striker, he did all right, Sims, to be fair. Seen people saying, thought Sims was unbelievable. I mean, we'll get into that in a minute. But unless you've got a link man in the middle of the park, what kept happening? We go into Grimes. Grimes looks round. We go back to the fullback. We go back to the centre half. We get put under pressure, we go long. First ball, Arsenal win it. Second ball, Arsenal win it. Bang, they break. Consistently, time after time after time. So at that point, then you have to beg the question, just put the ball out of play. I understand there's an identity and stuff, but if you're under pressure, the first 15, 20, you know, put the ball out of play or going long. That's hindsight, but we did it 2 or 3 times. That was my problem. And we didn't seem to change. What I did like, though, the only positive, real positive I got out of the game was twofold. I thought people overlooked Bobby Thomas. I thought Bobby Thomas had a really good game. When Rushwood spilt a couple of balls, he was the first to it. Other people were flat on their feet. You can't allow for that in the Prem. You saw it. We conceded goals 2 and 3 because of that. He cleaned up a couple of options. He looked pretty good on the ball. I think he had a decent enough game. And the other positive was as well is that we didn't camp in 10 across the box. We tried to keep some form of identity and made some fairly positive changes, and people are coming back. But the balance on the left side was gone. We were getting pulled inside. The fullbacks were getting dragged inside, and we were allowing the overload time and time and time again. And it was going to cause us problems, and it did.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we had an identity in that game, though. We like you said, look, you're glad that we didn't sit back and defend. Fair enough, but I don't know what else we done. It was just like we were there.
Oh, we weren't brave.
We weren't brave. We weren't playing to counter attack, and we weren't playing to sit deep either. It was just like I don't really understand what the.
I think we were a bit limited by
were.
like if we'd have had that front three in a championship game, BTA, Sims, Chowner, I think there still would have been question marks of what they could produce on the day. I know Sims and BTA had that run together where they did extremely well in the first season under Lampard. But I think if you're starting BTA as a left winger, we know he's going to run a lot. But in terms of quality down the left wing, it is a downgrade on Mason Clark. I think
you lost your balance straight away, Si.
Exactly, yeah. I think Chowner, we're still getting to know him. I thought he was okay. And I think Sims had a good game, but had you right from last season, was the first choice striker. So you've got a second or third choice left winger, a second choice striker, and this from last season, and then a new boy that we're still getting to know, who I think we need to give more time and see what he's up to against weaker opposition. But I think you look at the players we don't have, and you look at the players who came off the bench in the second half. I know Radoni came on the left and then went on the right. Gus came on, I thought showed some good touches. I thought Awoniyi was excellent when he came on in terms of putting himself about, giving us a bit more. And I just think people have written us off already in terms of, cover down, didn't offer anything, yada, yada, yada. It's like, well, if you actually look at the season as a whole, we've got the hardest game out of the way, and we were doing it without our best 11. No Rudy coming off the bench. Gus will probably get into our best 11. Hadji Wright's not there. Sakamoto didn't get on the pitch. Mason Clark wasn't there. You know, if you add all those players in, you might have seen a little bit more from us. So I just think it is what it is. I think mistakes did cost us, and Rushworth was definitely at fault for the third goal, possibly the second as well. Maybe the occasion got to him. It is what it is. He's going to be number one all season. He's going to do really well for us. I'm not doubting that. But it wasn't great from him, Duke, was it?
It wasn't, but I think it starts earlier up the pitch. Sims has won his header. Onyeka, for some reason, when it falls to Rice, and you know that Rice is going to drive up the pitch, and he was a joy to watch. I thought the way that he moves through the middle of the park, he just strides through. He made it look really easy. Him and Odegaard did in there. I thought Rice was really good.
Jake,
But,
you ever been on a country walk when the gate's wide open?
Yeah, it's like that. But this is what I mean. This is where I'm a bit disappointed in Onyeka. Onyeka's, for some reason, thought that he was going to turn back, so he's put his body the other way. Rice has just walked forward with the ball, a little 1-2 in there. I thought he could have shot himself, and then he's gone out wide. But I felt like Onyeka was kind of like chasing shadows a bit, to be honest. He was. They were a bit too far off it. I mean,
is that not his role though? He's been put into a 10 pressing position, like we saw from Eccles last season. Is he used to that? Should he be in that role? I understand.
No, he shouldn't be in that role. No, I don't think that's his position. But I don't know.
You know what Rice is going to do, don't you? Like how many times have we seen
drive?
Him run? He wants to run. He's unbelievable. But yeah.
But it was the amount of times that him and Odegaard were just free in pockets or on the half turn. And then there was, they broke the lines constantly. They'd move us from left to right, Our fullbacks would come in, they'd narrow, then they'd either get the overlap. So we were panicking about that. But then there was, and it's just a great side that have played together for a very long time, just moving through the gears, elite level. And it's kind of a marker for Cov to go, all right, that's the level. And it's just how quickly they learn from this and how aggressive they're going to be when they turn out against Hull. My big focus, and I spoke to a couple of lads about this, was Grimes, because you've got a bit of an issue in the middle of the park in terms of what configuration you're going to start. Because if you've got two lads like Onyeka and Arenchi who are trying to squeeze possession, doing all the graft and work rate around you, then Grimes, when he has the ball, has to be positive. And I didn't see anywhere near enough of that when we were in possession of the ball. Now, don't get me wrong, you lose the balance on the left-hand side. You can't have wingers that are constantly hugging the line. Sometimes they've got to introvert and go inside and allow for overlap. We didn't really see that until later on in the game. But the problem is we had no link person in the 10. We seem to have this thing where if we go long and Sims wins a header, everyone's out of the seat like it's unbelievable. Where's he flicking it onto? Where's he holding it up and knocking it into anybody? He's not. We had no one in a 8-10 position taking the ball on the half turn, and then we weren't getting it out wide enough and stripping fullbacks or overlapping. So then Grimes has a problem. Keeps going back, recycling to the centre halves or to the fullback, centre half, fullback, centre half, fullback. You go long. They win the first, second phase. It comes back. They go again, they go again, they go again. And that was the problem. Now, unless they change something in that 3 in the middle of the park, don't get me wrong, I'd have gone with that 3 myself, but we learned a few lessons there. I think you go that 3 again in the next game because you've got to test it out properly back to back, but you need to see what they're going to do against Hull at home. And what we can't be is passive at home against them. We need to be so aggressive. We need to go and win that game. And we need to show what we're capable of with the football. Not out of possession, in possession.
One thing you were saying there about us needing to be more aggressive. I think we gave them far too much respect, Arsenal. I don't. There wasn't much bite in there at all. There wasn't much, like not a tackle in the first half. Just leave a late one in on someone and put your hands up to the ref as sorry, clumsy. Let them know that you're there a little bit at least. I felt there was far too much respect.
Yeah. 4 tackles, and they made 9 tackles. We made 4 tackles. Don't even know how that's possible.
It's like a friendly.
Yeah. I think we'll come on to Hull. Obviously, what a result for them, by the way. Both Hull and Ipswich won this weekend. Ipswich getting a late win against Sunderland, Hull beating Man United.
It'd be nice to have had a home start, though, wouldn't it? Like them.
I completely understand that. We've had the hardest fixture. I think we'd have been a bit more up for it at home. It would have been a bit of a different game. As it was, we were kind of picked apart. I think with the midfield, it's also interesting that Torp was the first one called upon from the bench. We didn't see too much of that, and I thought he was good again in terms of chances created and what we did. He created our only real chance. I think Rudy should have scored his header from 8 yards out. Should have done better with it. What a delivery! What a ball in! And I do think maybe I've been guilty of this as well. There's been a lot of talk about physicality and how much we need to run and compete in the Premier League, which I think is a big factor. But you've got to be technically good enough to keep hold of the ball or put good crosses in or make something. I think that's where Torp was very good. I also think Jay Da Silva was one of our better defenders and one of our better players in terms of it went on that run in the second half, drove towards the box, took his man on, was good on the ball. We've all said we think we need a new left back and we want to improve in that area. But technically, and we've always said this about Da Silva, he is one of our better players on the ball. I think he deserves some credit. I think Torp deserves some credit. And that's where I'm like, against Hull, I maybe would want to see a tweak to that midfield. I don't know if we need Onyeka in there and Urenchi. I'd probably bring in a Torp or a Hamer in the middle.
Yeah, to drive you forward a bit more experience in that more advanced role. Because I don't think, like John said earlier, that's Onyeka's not a 10.
Yeah,
but he's playing in that position.
And we're still learning what Urenchi is, aren't we?
Yeah. I think you're right. I think we need a bit more experience of people that have had a go in that position before up there against Hull. Yeah, I watched some of the Hull game. God, they done everything right. They defended in numbers and they attacked in numbers and they were physical against Man United. But it makes you. They've had 2 home wins but it does make you also realise that if we can make the CBS a bit of a fortress, we can beat teams like Man U at home. There's a chance. So yeah,
I think for pointing out the De Silva thing, positive. The first or second time he overlapped, allowed Torp to feint to pass, cut back in, put that great ball in. 9 times out of 10, Rudy's scoring that. He just got touched on the back and it just took the power out of the header. Should bury it, really. He should be stronger. But then on the other side, the third goal, he just got walked past.
I thought that was a foul against Rodoni. The lad knew what he was doing, barged him in the back. I know you're not going to get it, but that's like leaving one in on him. You know, he's going to be nervous jumping for the next header then, isn't he? So that's where I think a bit more experience and a bit more of the dark arts is needed from us in this league.
Well, that's the thing, though, isn't it? It's a lack of experience across that side a little bit. But again, you know, we talk about Onyeka being a 10. They're not 10s and 8s and 6. That's somebody who sat in like a quarterback and 2 lads around them, like acting as protection and a bit of a wall. And that's the problem. There's a big gap between the 9 and the middle of the park. So there's no one there to kind of feed off, take it on the half term. Then you've got a left side that's kind of introverted, a winger out on the right that kept cutting back, wasn't brave enough to take.
That was the frustration. You bang on, John. The amount of times Chandler had a chance to run or get at them or go past or try and take them on, he was very safe and kept cutting back. You are right.
I think people will probably be listening to this and thinking, Christ, get off the backs. He's being harsh. It's like, we're being harsh, but if you want to stay in this league, you are at war now. And that's what it is. And if you've come off that pitch and you're like, we'll roll into the next, that is a massive slap across the face. And you're on the front line now. And you either got to hit the ground running on the next one, or this can turn into 5, 6, 7 games. And we're like a laughing stock at the bottom of the league. We've got to get hold of it quickly. I'd imagine Gus Amart would be sat around thinking, I've been here before. I've been in this story before with Sheffield United. And you don't want to be that side that are getting it 6, 7, 8s and people are laughing at you. And I think we've got enough quality there. It's just finding them configurations. And it's about being aggressive and understanding you have earned the right to be here. You deserve to be here, and stop having that. I saw one of the players afterwards going, oh, yeah, we were just kind of a little bit of in awe and like we were here. Oh, it's happy to be here. No. You cannot allow for any of that at this level, because we will be back down before we know it. They've got to wake up sharp time, and they will, and I'll back them, and I think there's enough there for us to survive this season. I was disappointed with the Arsenal. Didn't expect anything there. I expected a little bit more than what I saw there.
It's a chance from all, isn't it? The eyes of the world are on them now. That Friday night game was televised everywhere. It's a chance to have your name as a household name. That's how it works. If you've got a bit of flair, if you've got something, make a statement for yourself. Become a household name.
Yeah. I think it is. I don't know. I said it at the top of the show, but it's just a reality check of what we're up against this season. Like, Arsenal have spent £1 billion in the last 5 years. Arsenal got to the Champions League final. Arsenal are Premier League champions. They'll probably win the league this season. They are the best team in the league. This is the toughest game in the league. I'm like 3-0. Like, frankly, I'll take it. I'm not annoyed. I'm not gutted by that result. I was a bit deflated on Friday night, but it is what it is. You know what I mean? I'm just like, bring it on.
If you live near where I live, I absolutely can't stand them. The most entitled fan base you will ever meet. And then when you're walking around before the game and after the game, oh, you know, unlucky, good luck for the rest. It's just like, mate.
I hate pity. I will say I hate the pity stuff. I'll get on board with that. But
they are top tier. They're a really good side. We've walked out 3-0. Just wanted to see a bit more out of us. Next game was always a big game anyway, but for me, it's like crucial that we have a performance and we lay a glove and get a point minimum, absolute minimum. Their tails will be up, but this is CBS. We've got to absolutely get on the front foot. And I think you might see the same 3 in the middle of the park again, but let's see how that rolls out the next few weeks.
Yeah. Any final thoughts on Arsenal, Chico? What was the away end like? Talk us through it. How did it go? What was your trip to London like?
It was it was okay. It wasn't a great away end. I've been a lot better. I don't know whether we were a bit nervous, maybe like the squad were, but there was a few songs. yeah, it wasn't like a pumping away end, to be honest. It was, it felt a bit, I don't know, a bit shell shocked that maybe we were playing Arsenal at the Emirates for the first game of the season, and we're all kind of pinching ourselves. It was all right. It was an average away end.
I thought we were really quiet. I mean, I sat in the diagonal opposite corner, and I thought, I was disappointed, mate. To be fair,
Yeah, because some of the ones last season were incredible.
probably a long day, a lot of people on the source, bit of excitement.
It was a long day.
You know, it's outside, and I said, "Oh, you know, I hope it's not one of them where we're noisy as anything outside, and then when we get in there, we're just kind of looking around." I'm like, it was just quiet, disappointing. If you're going to sit in that away end, and as hard as it is to get tickets with the points, you better sing your heart out for 90 minutes. Seriously.
I think that's what we cannot afford the CBS to be quiet or nervy, and we've seen what Hull can do now. That place, like you say, it's got to be a fortress. It's got to be noisy. It's got to be up for it for the minute one. We cannot afford people to be passive at the CBS. We genuinely need it to be horrendous to go to for away teams.
I sound well negative. I've just realised. I mean, what is it now? 8:15 a.m. on a Sunday. I'm like, I'm still negative about it. I'm just so disappointed with it. So
did you expect anything better than 3-0 to Arsenal?
No,
Genuinely.
No, I expected us to cause problems, a few more problems there, and for people to walk away and go, hey, they look all right. I just had so many of the fans that are mates of mine from other clubs going, mate, they look dreadful. And I'm like, yeah, they did, to be fair.
Can I bring you my moment of the match?
Go on.
Ellis Sims turning Gabriel, shaking him off, driving into the box, winning a free kick, getting him booked. That was my favourite moment of the match.
Sims had a thankless task, really.
I thought he was all right.
I did as well. He's up there battling pretty hard by himself. He's never going to really burst past the defender for pace and like Gyökeres did for us or anything like that. He's good at he'll win a header. He will have a bit of hold-up play. He'll have a battle with a centre half. You know what you're going to get with Sims, and he done all that, but there was no one around him to bring him into play. So he's just a thankless task as a lone striker in a game against a team as good as that.
He's fine off the bench for 10, 15 minutes. I think, look, listen, if you're going to end up having to go long like we do, Sims, he turned Gabriel. Brilliant. Bit naive, Gabriel. How many times did you see him work the channels for the long ball? Didn't really see that. I didn't see him come short, demand the ball to feet, lay it off into anyone. Or get the ball, turn someone and get a shot off. It was a thankless task, and I feel for him. I think he did all right. I think when Awomyi came on, all of a sudden you see someone who was aggressive, could clearly hold the ball up, pulled off into the channel a few times, and I saw enough out of him to think, yeah, that's an outlet.
But it's the levels of where Arsenal were at. I will counter that with the subs as well. I said we look better with the subs. I think they will improve us. But Arsenal were just cruising home.
Just seeing a lot of tweets about how Ellis Sims was unbelievable. I'm like, I don't think he had a shot, did he?
But this is where I come back to.
He did okay. He did okay. There's not much else he could do, is there? Really?
Plenty more he could do, Jig. Could have come short. Could have demanded the ball. Could have pulled off. Could have worked the channels on a long ball. He did all right.
But we're in a situation.
I haven't seen one tweet about how good Bobby Thomas was. I've just seen I thought Jada Silva was well. He had a good game. Mate, some lad just walked past him for the third goal. Like, it's just bizarre. I'm just like, look, you have to be this hard because they're the levels. That is the elite level. Now, I'm not saying we're ever going to get to the level of Arsenal. We're not, but we need to jump at least 3 years from where we are in the next game. You've got to. Sounds harsh, but it's like if we have that mentality, mate, we're just going to get mauled, and they'll be doing that at the CBS.
Oh God, I saw them doing that.
It's so good.
Oh, by the Tigers! Imagine being on the other side of that. Now you'd be absolutely livid, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Did you see the announcement? So the announcer went, and the trains back to Manchester have all been cancelled, and they all went, oh. No, we don't want that.
3-0 against the Arsenal. I'm all right with it. I just wanted more.
Are you sure?
Straighted.
It's a good job we didn't do this straight after the game, isn't it?
I know.
John would have been raging.
I'd have been better. I wouldn't mind, Jig. I only lived 20 minutes down the road as well. Livid on the way home.
I will say on Sims, we're assessing somebody who I think, when everyone is fit, is now our fourth choice striker. This is what I mean about we would have a Wanyi, we'd have Sheriff, we'd have Wright, and then you've got Sims, and we've started him away at Arsenal. Like, we're talking about levels. This aren't, well, that's levels. We've brought in two other strikers. Also, Sheriff not on the bench, and also when he did his intro video, everyone was wearing their football boots and he was wearing trainers. I wonder if there's a fitness issue with him there.
Yeah, I think he come in and they've just been running him because they were
Yeah.
like, oh, he's massively behind. Going back to Sims, listen, I think he did all right. I think that he is a good option off the bench last 15. I think that's his role unless he goes out. Sharif, unfit. Womyi looks decent, to be fair. Aggressive. Looks like he's got a turn of pace. I think you're right, Si. I think he is. I think Wright, weirdly, I think Wright could have had some fun in that game, maybe out wide left. He'd have hugged the line more and kept the shape a bit better. They've got to have two wingers that are prepared to work hard, but also get at fullbacks and allow our fullbacks to get round them as well.
Was Efron on the bench or not? I can't remember.
No.
He was. I was surprised to see Rudy back so quickly, though. And come on. Good news.
Surprised to see both of them on the bench. You've not really heard sight and the sound of Torp. And to see him come on early doors was interesting as well, like you say, Si. But that little bit of quality did make a slight difference.
I think he's underrated by our squad, maybe even from us on air. I think his technical quality as a midfielder is up there with the best of our squad. And I think if you're looking for something different in there, we need to use him more. I'll be waving the Victor Torp flag a lot this season.
It'd be interesting to see what happens with Grimes there. If you've got this problem week in, week out where we're pinned in, you're going to have someone who's got the eye of the needle pass in that middle of the park.
We're not going to be pinned in every week, though. We're not playing Arsenal away every week. We're playing Plymouth away in the Cup, and then we've got Hull at home. Like, Man City away, I think we can have a different conversation. That's going to be a very similar sort of game you'd expect.
I don't think there's any easy games past that, though. I look at it and I'm like, this, that, mate, they're all our games.
They are. I agree. I think our start at home is as easy as it could get. Our start at home is as easy as it gets in terms of we don't have any of the big boys at home. But we've seen how dangerous Hull are. We've seen how dangerous Brighton are.
Just don't think you have that time on the ball, like where we would lose a ball, but then we go and win it back quickly. It's just not there anymore. And if you think about the end of last season, we were giving up a lot of chances. You cannot do that at this level.
That's it, John. If you make a mistake, you get punished. You concede a goal. That's what we saw from the first goal. Maybe you get away with that in the champ.
You get away with it in the champ because we'd go and outscore the other team. We're not going to do that in this league. So you can't afford to make the mistakes in the first place. We're not going to have. If we make a couple of mistakes and you find yourself 2-0 down, we're not going to go and find 3 goals.
Yeah. You bang on. You are bang on. Right. Should we leave the Arsenal game there and jump into a quick break? And then we will do some listener questions and look forward to Plymouth away in the Carabao Cup. Over the last 20 years, the Clash Network has grown into the leading independent European media brand, representing music, film, fashion, tech, and the lifestyle around it. Clash really is the last bastion of trusted independent journalism. It operates a successful platform in print and publishes a highly collectible quarterly magazine starring an array of global music stars. The Clash team are always online across digital and social channels. They're on radio, Clash live events, and they operate an award-winning creative projects and services division. Clash's Baller Tapes, which is a reoccurring feature, platforms football players' lives on and off the pitch, with recent episodes starring Noni Madueke, Alex Scott, Axel Dazassi, Alex Iwobi, and more. You can follow Clash Magazine at Clash Magazine across socials, or visit clashmusic.com now to stay ahead of the latest music and entertainment news. Play up Sky Blues. We are back, and we should talk about a bit of transfer news that looks like it's happening. We're set to sign Manchester City defender Stephen Mfuni on loan, it looks like. He was on loan at Watford last season. What do we think of this one, guys?
Is very highly thought of. I think it would be a good addition. I've only seen good stuff said about him.
I've got a couple of Watford supporting mates, and he what did he play? I think he played only a handful of games for them. 8 games last season. He played once for Man City. 17 games for England's under-19s. But Watford fans were saying he's the best defender they've they've seen at their place in like 10 years. Like, he is unbelievable. The loan thing is interesting. Obviously, we'd love to get him permanently. Maybe it's a loan to buy or something. Can he impact our first team this season? He's not a left back. He's a left centre back. Maybe we are thinking of putting him there. Question marks, John, maybe?
Yeah, I heard they were chatting to Pinnock at Brentford as well, which would have been interesting. They definitely lack experience, though. Like, I understand the model, but I think we just need a little bit of experience in that squad. So it is interesting. I've heard he's very good, but again, another young lad.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that one, and we'll see what happens towards the end of the window. What, are we a week out now from the end of the window? We've done a good job so far. Still need a couple more, hopefully, though. Right, let's do some listener questions. Obviously, we've covered a few of them already. PUSB said, first goal killed us, get rid of the ball. But the reality is, if a Spanish League Two side played away to Real Madrid on the first game, it would be strange if Madrid didn't play them off the park. It was always going to happen. Hull is huge. And Claire says, is it somehow possible that signing a new left back isn't actually a priority? I thought De Silva looked absolutely fine last night. I wasn't expecting it. What do you reckon, Jig?
Yeah, I think everyone's been calling for that position. I think he had a great season last season. And yeah, I know for the third goal, the guy, there was a little overlap and he got caught on the overlap. But other than that, I thought he'd done okay. I thought he was okay.
Still want another addition.
Yeah, we've got no cover really, have we? Because I don't think Brow's in the away end. But I don't think he's going to really make a mark in the team anymore. I'm not sure what the plan is with him. I think he might be going, but
we need some outgoings as much as incomings now for the rest of this window. Looking at a few of the defenders there, really, we need some outgoings to free up some space and kind of make the squad a bit smaller.
Yeah, I don't mind Jay. I don't mind him. I think he's okay. Like you say, yes, it'd be nice to have cover or have someone competing for that first team spot there. But yeah, he's technically a very, very good, neat footballer.
The Kessler Hayden one's a bit weird, isn't it, as well? Like, he is a fullback who was bought in for decent money, can play on both sides. I always thought we should give him a go at left back if we needed to. He's just kind of been written off as well.
Yeah, it is strange that. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there either. I did see him it wasn't him, it was him and Wolfenden commented on Eccles' post about the NFL team or something. And
I think that's been blown out of proportion a little bit.
Yeah, it's a bit daft, that was. I don't know about that. They shouldn't be getting themselves involved in
bit of fat shaming.
Yeah.
Craig says, what do you think to other fans writing us off already? I find it funny. Prem champs, Champions League finalists. Can't wait to see how they all get on there. John?
No problem. Write us off at your peril. But I think regroup this week. This week's quite pivotal for them, really. Just to see how you react. You've had a marker now. It's a good marker. It is the elite level. But don't be fooled that they were only in third gear. So it's a big jump.
Yeah, it's a big jump, but plenty of games to go, plenty of points still to be picked up. Nothing is decided after 90 minutes, guys. Rob Jones, our little intel person with Jig and his half and half scarf, says, I know we've discussed this a little bit already. He says, the Grimes dilemma. His whole game is about controlling possession and tempo. If you haven't got the ball, is he a passenger? How do we evolve to get the best out of him in games like last night?
That's a good question. I felt like he was bypassed a lot in that game. And if you watch the second goal, he was all over the place as Rice drifted past him in a little 1-2, and he was just completely out of position. I know he's there sitting in front of the back four as a bit of protection, but he wasn't really offering that in that game at all. I think he's going to be better against what he classes the lesser teams in the league, where he will have a bit more of the ball and we will have a bit more possession. We need to figure out how to play against teams where we're not going to hardly touch the ball. And we need to figure out whether we press a bit more, because we just let them have it for far too long. I'm not sure with Grimes in them type of games, but you do need him in there because he is the ball player out of them three.
I think he just needs options, Jig. Like, even when he got the ball, he couldn't really hit anyone. If you have Mason
No.
Clark on the left or someone, you get it out to him quickly. If you have a one, you give it over the top, see what he can offer. Like Rudy in the 10, I just think it was a case where our midfield was so industrious that he didn't really have many options to hit when he got it. So, like
Yeah,
John alluded to earlier, it was the same old, same old.
Yeah, Asante's doesn't give you that outlet as a winger. I don't feel. Whereas you get that from Mason Clark and you get that from Sakamoto. Yeah, I think you're right. I think having some options, having more options, someone in that pocket in the hole, Rodoni on the half turn. Yeah, I suppose he's looking.
You've got to be more 4-2-3-1, haven't you? So you've got to maybe, if you weren't playing Grimes, you have a wrench in Onyeka just sitting in with a focal 10, you're too wide and Sims, but that 10 needs to be a hybrid 8-10. But someone that can pick a pass, take it on the half turn. So it's either Hamer or Rodoni in that role with them two holding there. And then all of a sudden you're changing your game up slightly. Because if you're sitting Grimes in, he's only going to take it off the full back, the centre half, turn, go back, or if there's an option in the middle of the park. But when you're pinned in and he's out of possession, he's just getting ran past. He's getting run through. And we're not.
I think we'll see at home. I think we'll see a proper 10 at home.
Yeah, you might do, but you might see the same again, and that configuration at home might work more because we'll be more confident, we'll be on the front foot, more aggressive, pressing higher up the pitch, more intensity. But look, again, it's difficult to. I mean, we've got into them a little bit, but it's more a case of getting into them because it's like you've got to react to that now and realise the jump. That's the concern. But at the same point, it is arguably the first, if not second, if not first best team in Europe. But again, like I say, they're in third gear. That's the levels.
Yeah, I think this won't be the first or last time this season this happens, though. This will probably happen. We'll probably be having a similar conversation.
It's matches again. Sorry, we were talking about it, Jig, weren't we? You've got your Arsenals and your City, so just have a free hit, go for it.
But then, this is going to sound so negative, but also goal difference might be really important. This is why I'm like 3-0, mate. I'll take it. We were 2-0 down after 20 minutes.
I mean, it
could an 8-0 or a 9-0 would have killed us to open the season with one of them.
I did fear a 5 or 6. I was like, oh God.
Yeah.
But listen, we, it's where we're at after 5 games. If you pick 3 points up at Hull, go City, learn another lesson up there, no problem, and then regroup, get back in. If you've 5 points after 5 games, 5 or more,
that's terrific.
Great.
If we're 5 points after 5 games, that is it. Because if we do a point a game, we're on 38 points at the end of the season. And if we manage to average a point a game when we played Man City and Arsenal away from home, if we get 5 points from these 5 games, I'll be over the moon. And that, I think that is the level now in terms of expectation. We're not winning. We're not going to be winning every week like we were last season.
It's just about competing for me.
Yeah. And picking up points here and there and seeing what we can do. Yeah. 1 win and 2 draws in these first 5 games will represent a real success in my eyes.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. They've got to back themselves a bit more. There's a bit too much respect paid, in my eyes, to Arsenal. And when we're going to the Etihad or we're going to places like that, you're going to be facing these big teams, big players in these pressure cookers, and you're there for a reason. You're there because you've earned it. You've earned the right to be there. So just believe in yourselves a bit more. Get a bit more stuck in. Get a bit more physical. Yeah, just.
How many times you've played in games like that, though, even at like local level? When it's a big game and I'd imagine their legs were like jelly for that first 10, 15, trying to find your feet, trying not to be the person to make the mistake. That's just a bit of muscle memory. So, yeah. But again, you've got to adapt quickly. So important.
Yeah, agree with that. A few questions from various people saying, are we better suited to a 5 at the back? Should we be playing a 5 at the back in these big away games? Maybe looking ahead to Man City. I don't know. I think Frank's got an idea here. He wants to play 4. He wants to play like an industrious midfield. I certainly wouldn't be changing away from it after 90 minutes against Arsenal. I know we didn't put enough tackles in and we weren't great, but there were slight moments where we were okay. And that's it's the biggest positive I can give after that 3-0. But I wouldn't be throwing it out of the water already.
No, I wouldn't be changing it just yet. That's what he's gone for in the pre-season friendlies. He's stuck with it for the Arsenal game. It hasn't worked, but it worked against Monaco. So maybe stick with it for Hull and see how it goes against them. I wouldn't be putting a 5 at the back because I don't think at the minute we've got the wingers or the wing backs fit enough to be able to play that formation. So I wouldn't be playing that.
Will be very different when our players are fully fit, even without any more new signings.
Yeah.
We'll be a very different side. This is not us at full strength. And also, we came up against an Arsenal team who, when we looked to the fixtures coming out and we heard the noises coming out of Arsenal, it was, oh yeah, their World Cup lads won't be back. Saka started, Rice
All
started.
there. Yeah.
Like, we didn't get anything from it. And also, Mikel Arteta, you not bringing Victor Gyökeres on, you went down in my estimations when that happened. I didn't enjoy that.
He come over and clapped the away fans at the end though. Gyökeres did.
He's a knob for that, isn't he?
Yeah.
Little Velcro head, honestly. let him have that moment. Let us have a moment. You know what I mean? Like, come on, zip it.
Why wouldn't you bring on his second striker as well? What a weird decision. Anyway, Katie puts, how on earth week in, week out do we put up with Premier League fans thinking we're devastated losing to Arsenal when we've watched us lose to Yeovil at home in recent years?
It's a great shout. Yeah. Well, yeah, the grief that you're getting online for losing against Arsenal is unbelievable. You know, what did you think we were going to do? Turn up and roll them over? Opening day of the season, beat the champions? It's just not going to happen, is it? You got to set your expectations to become, I don't know, if you're not, before the game when you're in the pubs and that and you're talking to the Cov fans, they're all like, oh, we might be able to scrape a draw here, we might be able to get something, and you start to believe it a bit yourself. You're like,
I said that.
Yeah, we might be able to get a point here. But then when you're not touching the ball for 45 minutes, you're like, oh yeah, it's a bit tricky.
I saw like little tweets like, that'll shut them up.
Yeah.
Anyone thought? I think we thought we might see a bit more out of them. You know what I mean? But there you go.
They are like TikTok FC Arsenal, though. They're all outside the ground. They've got cameras and all these people with microphones interviewing people everywhere. You're thinking, oh God, it's just like.
To be fair, though, Jig, they were all lined up ready, and I think you probably could have got on the mic, but the issue that you had,
this was half cut.
Well, it wasn't even that, mate. The Madrid was flowing. Alvino could flow, but I think it was the fact that you were having photos with so many fans. Never seen anything like it. Jig, can I get a photo? Love the pod, Jig. Jig, can I get a photo? He was like, like an octopus. Yeah.
No one came up to you.
No, I think they were surprised to see him there. They don't normally see him in the mixing of the lower level seats, do they? He popped round, showed his face. I think everyone thought he was like a fake image of him or a cardboard cutout. But yeah, then he went off to his prawn sandwich seats, didn't you?
Had a couple of Diet Cokes.
How were the prawn sandwich seats?
Yeah, all right. But again, just gooners, mate. Just apps. They're not football fans where they up there, mate. They're just goons, mate. Gooners. Absolute divvies, mate. Honestly. Entitlement FC. Anyway, move it on, Louis Vuitton.
Talking of getting recognised, by the way, I went and watched it out in Manchester in a pub. And as soon as I walked in, a guy came up to me and went, "Oh, Simon, love the pod." And I was like, in the middle of Manchester?
Unbelievable scenes. I did have someone ask for a photo with me outside the North Bank, and they asked Brennan to take the photo, which was just a full circle for me. He was absolutely livid.
Have you seen that clip of a guy goes up to Messi and Mascherano when they're playing for Argentina, and he goes, "Oh, can I have a picture? Can I have a picture?" And he gives his phone to Messi and gets the picture with Mascherano instead of Messi's just there, like taking the picture. Similar vibes.
Man, like Lionel Blair.
Brilliant. We do have a game to look forward to in midweek before Hull. Obviously, it's a trip to Plymouth. Tuesday night? I think it's Tuesday night. Is it Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember. Jig?
Tuesday night.
Tuesday, thank you.
On your way, Jig?
Sorry?
On your way down?
I don't think I am. No.
No points in the bag?
No points in the bag.
Missing the points.
have to scan your ticket now to get the points, don't you?
Yeah, it's mad, that, isn't it?
I don't mind it. I think it's fair.
I don't know why they've just made it 30 points. Just make it 20 or 10 and you'd get less people buying for the points. But I think I understand why they've done it.
But I think it works on, if it's a midweek game, it's 10, and if it's a cup game, it's 10, and then you get 10 for the ticket. So that's the accumulation of the 30.
And midweek aways were 20, weren't they?
So a midweek away league game is an extra 10 for it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Points master.
Ticket.
the points master.
Listen, Plymouth are in League One. I don't even know how they've started the season. What do you want to see from us? And also, what sort of team do you think we'll put out here? I'd like to see Rudy get a decent hour. I'd like to see Gus get a decent hour. This is a chance for us to get some minutes in the legs, isn't it, John?
Yeah, minutes. Yeah, minutes. I think you'll get 6 or 7 of the starting 11 again. Try and get some fluidity and cohesiveness going there. Get some more of the new signings on there. Definitely get Gus and Rudy minutes. Yeah, I think it's just a chance to try a few things out as well. But again, it's just about minutes and rotation.
Yeah, rotate the defence. Would you put Bidwell in, Kitch, Latty? How much are you changing? Are you going to leave it as the big boys, Bobby and Amenda, Milan another go at right back?
I
Be
think
interesting to see if the boys are left out of this one, who we think might have been cut off a little bit, or if they're brought back in.
I think there'll be wholesale changes for this.
Yeah,
I think I hate the word free hit, but this is one where if you go through with our not quite first 11, so if you are doing a full wholesale change for this game and we win, fair enough, we're still in the cup. But it's one of them that if you go out of, it's not a big thing really, because the league is the most important thing to us.
I agree. I massively agree with you, Jig. But I think we need some games. I think if we lose heavily at Arsenal, which has happened, and we didn't put in a great showing, and then we lose at Plymouth, who have got 1 point from their first 2 League One games, and then we've got Hull at home, it just is a bit. If we then lose that, and then we've got Man City away, you know what I mean? Losing is a bad habit.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to lose. Even with the lads that you now saying are borderline, are they going to stay? Are they going to make it into the first team? Even if you're playing Eccles, Tort, Radoni, Hamer, like your centre halves, even if you give Kessler Hayden, Kitch, and all them lads that go, they're still a very, very good top end championship team level, if not fighting for the first team for us. So we should have enough to go there and win, no matter what 11 we put out.
You are right. I was thinking we had a second team when we were like just promoted into the championship, where we just didn't have anyone. But now you've mentioned all those names, it is ridiculous. Talking of one of the names, we haven't even mentioned on this show, new signing, Bentley, the goalkeeper from Wolves. Don't understand, but fine. Like, I thought Wilson was, third choice, great around the dressing room. I thought Dovin would be left as second choice, but maybe we're looking to get him minutes. Maybe we're looking to get rid. It seems like he's coming as backup, John.
Yeah, odd. My man's a Wolves fan, said he's horrendous.
Good.
I meant to be good in the dressing room. Who knows? Again, though, it goes back to what we're saying, though. This, I think the next week or so, it's going to be busy going out as much as anything coming in, right? It's got to be.
Yeah. It's got to be some loans.
Just going back to Plymouth, I think we get the win there. We'll get back to Hull. I don't know why. I just fancy steamrolling Hull. Don't know why.
Why have you said that?
I fancy us hurting them. I fancy us getting on the front foot, getting aggressive. The crowd have got to be up from the off. High press, pin them in. Yeah, get at them. You know what I mean? But I think Plymouth getting a win down there, even if it's tight, just get a win on the board.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good to see Tats and people get some minutes and some goals, some fitness. Hull fans love to clip up when they're written off, and everyone always writes Hull off. They wrote them off all of last season. Everyone's got them in 20th place this season. They've gone and beaten Man United.
Great deliveries though from set piece, weren't they?
Oh, Ryan Giles, look at him go, doing it in the press. McBurney, he's just good. He's just good centre forward.
Oh, he is. He's a handful, isn't he? That's what you want really from your centre forward. He's fighting with everyone. He's scrapping for everything.
We should have discussed this before, but are we going to do a midweek pod after Plymouth, or are we just going to leave it? Does it depend on the
Shall we
result?
see how we get on? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's prelude this by predicting the next 2 games, just in case we don't want to do one after Plymouth. I think we will go and beat Plymouth. I'm going to go for a nice, confident 3-1 win. Jig.
3-0.
There you go.
3-0.
Sakamoto to get a couple of goals for me.
2-1. Just stumble over the line, but that's what we need. That's all it is.
And if we've beaten Plymouth, how does the whole game go? We might rejig these predictions in midweek if we do a little pod after the Plymouth game. Do we beat Hull?
3-0 Cov.
Blimey.
Who scores?
Awomyi, Hamer,
Oh,
and then Sims at the death.
there you go. Take that. What do you reckon, Jig?
I think it's going to be a real tough game, tough battling, hard game that we're going to get through and win. It will take it out of us, but we're going to win 2-1.
Wow. Take that. Who's scoring?
One if he starts, and I think Rudy's going to get one.
I think 1-0 will start. I think Rudy will probably start if he gets a good few minutes in midweek as well, which would be good. We drew 0-0 with Hull twice last season, didn't we?
Yeah.
So
That's a
I'm going to
both
predict a
one.
0-0. Cheers, boys. Thank you. Yeah, cool. That will be a bit of a frustrating podcast if that is the case, but we will wait and see. Also, don't forget to join in on Fan Forecast. I got 11 out of 11 predicting the first lineup. I'm going to show off there, but if you're getting involved, join in predicting the whole game. Next up, we'll have a think and see how many points we can get in that one. Any final thoughts, lads, before we wrap up?
Well, we had a catch up with Doug Simon.
Oh, yeah. Hang on a minute. We did, and we had a very nice time, didn't we?
Yeah.
Myself and Jig went to the premiere of The Fall and Rise of Coventry City at the CBS Arena. It was wonderful. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you already have. It's just excellent, isn't it? It's so good.
It's really good. Yeah, it felt like it. 90 minutes. It could have been a docu-series. Really, they could have stretched it out a bit more. It could, yeah, but it's good that we've had something done on the fall and the rise of the club. Yeah, it was nice.
It's a shame that ITV wanted about 50 grand for any of the FA Cup footage. Wolves away, Man United away. It'd be nice to have seen that in there, wouldn't it? But
that's business for you, dogs.
did you meet any faces down there?
Well, yeah, we saw
Yeah, we did. Yeah,
McSheffrey, Doyle, Kelly. Had a chat with all of them. Josh Pugh was there,
Josh. Yeah, lovely lad, Josh. Very nice.
and then Jig collared Doug King. Do you want to
collared
talk
Doug,
about what
yeah.
happened, Jig?
Yeah. Well, he kind of looked round and he said, Jig. And he went, oh, we got Simon as well. And he knew who we were. Then he said, where's John? And I said, he didn't come because you didn't reply to his WhatsApp message. And he just started laughing. He went, I'm not coming on a podcast. I thought, there's the answer, John, unfortunately.
There we go, mate. No. Mate, cool, mate. I wouldn't, if I was running the club, I'd be like, you're on our channels and our channels only. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I will say,
He's-
me and Jig had about a 10-minute conversation with him about all sorts of stuff. And I came away from that thinking, we are not just staying up, we're going to absolutely hammer teams this season. We're going to be absolutely flying. He is so passionate and intent on making this a success in everything he says and everything he does. Like he clearly listens to the pod with some of the comments he made, which is very funny. But he was like, you predicted us to finish 17th, and he wasn't having that. I was like, I've predicted us to stay up, and he was just so intent that we were going to have a really successful season.
Yeah.
And he is here to make this club incredible, like a real established Premier League club. And yeah, I came away from it thinking, wow, he knows, not only knows what he's doing, but he's got the intentions of the club in the right place. He cares for the fans, and yeah, it was nice at Jig also being on the night, sat behind the owner of the football club, who was there to watch a documentary about it. Like, can you imagine that happening under Sisu? Like someone who cares to be that involved in the club and taking in the history and all of that stuff. The progress has been unbelievable.
Yeah, it has. Yeah. He was good, like you said. Like everything he was saying, his intentions. He's not going anywhere. He wants the best. He wants to keep striving for more and more with his club. He said that he were not done yet in the market. I don't know whether that meant the goalie or not, because that came after that. But yeah, he's. I felt very assured after speaking to him, and he listens to every word of this, because he said to me, "And you bottled it. You said we'd finish 14th, 12th, and then changed it to 14th." And I was like, "That's exactly what I said." Oh God. Yeah.
He was excellent on Talk Sport as well, to be fair. Even Simon, Mr. Jordan, was giving him some praise. But yeah, I think there's more business to be done this week in the market, unless deals have collapsed. But there's definitely some more movement. 100%.
Yeah.
Be interesting to see.
And he watched your clip on the overlap, Simon, as well. He mentioned that to you, didn't he?
Yeah, it was just engaged with what we were doing, really, which was really nice as well. Gave us encouragement and was positive about the club. So yeah, I'm massively excited about the future.
The problem he's got though, Si, is because he didn't actually reply to me on WhatsApp. It means I've got carte blanche to kind of still go for you, Doug. If you let me down anyway, I'm coming.
If you can just reply to John with like the middle finger emoji, that would be absolutely phenomenal.
You can do that for me, mate. I'll get it framed and put it in my front room. All right.
I also thanked him for bringing Gus back. I thanked him for bringing Gus back. Said he was my favourite ever Cov player. And he went, "Well, you've got the shirt on the wall in your background, didn't you?" I thought, "Oh yeah, there it is." So
I you should tidy the room up a bit more today, Simon. For that very
I need to change the sheets of the spare room. If you're watching on YouTube, this is the kind of content you get live inside my spare room.
Cincinnati next as well for America. Cincinnati next, I saw, was it?
What's that? Oh, what, we're doing another tour?
Looks like they're doing the rounds in America. Yeah, I think they
right.
announced they're doing Cincinnati next, or was that a fever dream?
I thought it was just linking with Detroit and being the Motor City.
Sure, let's just look on the old socials.
I've been trying to be off the socials over the last 2 days because I'm sick of seeing Arsenal and Premier League fans saying how rubbish we are, saying we're going straight back down, saying, "Oh, we're going to beat Derby's points record." Not having it.
Right, we'll see. We'll see where we are at the end of the season. I guarantee we definitely will not be going down. All right, let's have a look. Repping Cov in Detroit. What's going on here? I've had a Western here, mate.
It's good to end the podcast with a bang, isn't it?
Yeah, he has weird dreams, John does.
Very strange dream, that. Cincinnati of all places as well. Hang on, I've got to find it now. I'm absolutely livid.
Maybe they just haven't announced it yet.
No, there's definitely nothing there. No, I've absolutely lost the plot, and I take care, everyone.
I've got to give a shout out to a lad called Richard Proctor. I went to his wedding on Thursday, and everything was sky blue. The bridesmaids' dresses. He had a Cov City shirt there that all the guests signed. New shirt. The table settings were all Cov City shirts, and then his match day program was actually a Coventry City We Are Back program. It's brilliant. So yeah, congratulations, Rich.
Hang on, we've got an hour. Congratulations, Rich. By the way, we've got an hour into this podcast, and we've not mentioned that we might be doing something next week. Is that correct, Jig?
Oh God,
Take it away.
Yeah. We're doing our first live show next week before the Hull game at Finn Bars. It opens at 11. We're going to try and kick off around 12, so people have got plenty of time to get up there and soak up the atmosphere before the game. We've got Rich Chamberlain coming. He's bringing his set of Coventry City books with him, so you can purchase any of his books on the day. And we've also got a special guest, Premier League legend, Coventry City legend, 12 years with Coventry City, back-to-back, one of only 3 players to play over 400 games for the club, Brian Burrows. So he's going to come and join us for a chat.
Ooh, I'm excited for that.
Bugsy.
I'm very excited for all that. Please do come and watch his tickets, Jig. Where can people find them? We need to get the link up, don't we?
Well, yeah, need to crack on with the link for the tickets. That'll be up soon, hopefully later today.
Be quick buying those tickets. I'll get them out on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, because obviously we don't have many to give away. And the room was very, very full for the last one of these we did. So make sure you buy them as soon as you can. Be good to see you there. Right, we've waffled on for long enough. Please do come and see us next week at the live show at Finbars. It'll be a lot of fun, as always. Be good to see you all there. But yeah, Coventry begin with a 3-0 defeat to Arsenal. John Dawkins, can you leave us with a message of positivity, please?
Keep the faith in Frank, we trust.
That'll do, won't it? See you next week, guys.